Hi, this video goes out by special request to Cynthia. She wanted me to go through my chord solo version of Mapuana. I've redesigned it and re-uploaded it with some improvements. So I'm gonna take you through the solo, I'm gonna play it, and after I play it, I will outline some details of the fingerings and some exercises that'll really help make your left hand fingering a lot easier. Now, before I get started, I want to say I'm in Mexico, yay, which is a good thing. However, just to let you know, there's some construction noise right across the street, so I hope it's not too loud and it doesn't disturb you too much. So let's get started. What I'm going to do now is play through the solo in just a laid back, sunset in Hawaii kind of vibe, and then I'll break down the fingerings. We'll get into it in just a moment. So here's the chord solo all the way through. Try to ignore the construction noise across the street. Let the spirit of aloha be with you, even with the noise, yeah? 1, 2, 3, 4. Such a beautiful and peaceful chord solo, yeah? It's one of my favorites. Before we get started, I wanted to let you know that this chord solo is available on my website store. It's a complete 3-page tablature of the whole solo as I played it, and it also includes a 2-page chord diagram sheet so you can really get into the chord voicings and learn them in a visual way. If you like this, I hope that you also subscribe to Ukulele Zen, share this video with your friends on social media, and also give it a thumbs up. Sure, I would appreciate that very much. The first point I want to make is that while it seems like I'm playing lots of chords, what I'm doing is actually playing the same chord and playing different voicings of it. This is a really, really beautiful thing to do, and it can open up other avenues of playing in your other songs that you know. Now, I hope you can hear me clearly with the cumbia party that's going on across the street here, but what I'm doing is I'm playing this, and notice while my third finger leads the melody up the string, so the third finger stays on the string the whole time. You could even milk it, you see how I'm sliding? Okay, so classical musicians call that a glissando. It's sliding and making a really smooth legato sound. The second thing I want to do is break down this very challenging chord. It's probably the hardest chord in the whole piece, and it's the minor 7 chord form. It's a movable minor 7 shape that I'm playing here. And it's a great jazzy sound. This chord is based on the D minor 7 chord. So to play a D minor, you take your F chord, add the ring finger there. The 7th is the pinky added to the 3rd fret of the 1st string. There you go. Now you could play this whole thing with the 4 fingers, but it's actually easier in the long run to use this fingering. The way you get to know this fingering is going to be by learning how to hinge the fingers. So try this. You take the middle finger, make an OK sign, and push gently down on the knuckle. You see how I'm flexing it? Don't worry if your fingers don't flex very much at first. Breathe deeply and do this every day. You will develop more and more flexibility in the tendons and the knuckles. It will get more and more flexible, but please don't push too hard. Just be gentle with it. Once you get comfortable with this hinge bar, see how this collapsed knuckle looks like a door hinge? Take this knuckle and cover 2 strings with it. I'm up here at the 9th fret. Notice how much fingertip is sticking up. That's because I don't want the finger to be too far down. If it is too far down, the finger will muffle the 2nd string. Then you add the ring finger up top, squeeze, and then let go right away. It's very important that you relax after every attempt. Just squeeze, release, and really go back to that very loose hand. First, some games to help you develop a heavy hand, a relaxed hand. Take your left hand and play catch with it. Watch, I'm going to throw it in the air and just play catch with it. Make sure that your hand is very heavy. You know, it relaxes so much that all the power of gravity is doing the pushing for you. Another game you can do is just hold the hand like this, see, very loose, and then throw it in the air and catch it. You could also let it fall on your leg. Try not to hit your ukulele. So this means that when I'm playing, most of the time, I'm letting gravity do most of the pushing for me. By releasing and relaxing in between each chord, you get in touch with the relaxed space that exists between every chord. But in order to feel it, we really need to stop and let the hands soften up. So while this game might seem a little goofy at first, it's actually really, really helpful. And you want to access that feeling in between every chord you play. Make it a habit to relax after every chord. And of course, a strap will really help this process because you're not going to be using the left hand muscles to be holding up the uke. It's just being held up by the strap. The next point I want to make is about measure 4, these voicings of F major that move from here with a melody on the 3rd fret C to this F major 7, where the melody is now on the open A string, to this F chord, and now the melody is there at the 1st fret F. When you play, try to bring out that melody. It's really lovely. And in order to stop that 1st string from ringing, just let the thumb come to rest. The next thing we're going to look at is the 2nd ending. This is the last measure on the 1st page. Notice how the chords walk up from F to F7. Those first 2 chords, I don't play the 1st string. Then what I do is I use that hinge bar. See, I flatten the finger. This is an F7 with a suspended 4th, really pretty chord. And then after that, I release that and go to an F7 like this. Like I said at the beginning of the video, super cool effect is to use the same chords with different voicings. Here it is. Another tricky chord in this chord solo is the diminished 7th chord. And this happens in a couple of different places. This shape, you could think of it like a G major shape that's been moved up to these strings, and you add the pinky. Now, you're gonna find this chord happening in this solo in an interesting way. It's a diminished 7th chord with the same root. That means we're moving from F diminished to F major. It happens up here too with a C diminished up to a C major. This is a sound that's very common in Hawaiian music and also vaudevillian era jazz, swing music. It's a really cool trick. You take the diminished 7th chord, same root, and it's a very nice sound. The diminished 7th chord is also a great way to create suspense. Finally, the outro, the coda of the song. Notice how I'm going to strum through the strings and then pick the top note again. And then my pinky is right there. Slide it down and play this really beautiful chord, F major add 9, and then the whole piece ends with the F major 7. Notice how it's different voicings of an F, B flat minor, just 3 strings, 3 strings. Use the pinky, slide it down, and then you get to this shape. Hey, thanks so much for watching. I hope that you enjoy learning this, and I hope that this lesson was fun and informative for you. If you'd like this video, please subscribe to Ukulele Zen and give this video a thumbs up. Please share this with your friends, and look forward to seeing you in the next video. Thanks so much. Have a beautiful day. Pásalo bien.